what a spec on that. Welcome back to Six Cars, everybody. We are still in Greenwich. I hope you guys enjoyed the look at Miller Motor Cars, which was unbelievable with all the hypercars we saw there, but it's only just getting started because this morning we were actually waiting for the roll-in here, the Greenwich Concours d'Elegance, which should be full of hypercars and collector cars again. And as I mentioned before, this is basically the billionaire capital of the Northeast. So there's going to be some wild stuff here, guys. It's going to be great to see what shows up. I can't wait to show you everything we have in store for you today. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's get at it with these roll-ins, and then we'll head into the show. There we go. We got our first little hypercar of the day getting unloaded. Nice little Huayra BC, green and gold. Not a bad little spec. Quite interesting. See if we can watch it get unloaded here, unless something better comes driving down the road. Not a bad little cold start, ladies and gentlemen, and it is actually quite chilly this morning here in Greenwich, but yeah, there we go. We get a better look at the spec here. Some nice green and gold accents around the back of the car. I do quite like that, actually. It's not a bad looking Huayra BC. Not a bad looking interior too, guys. The green and gold and brown, so like a mixture of a few different colors in there. But obviously one big selling point with the Paganis is their very classy looking interiors, and this BC is obviously no different. You can see all the details with the yellow stitching through the seats, the green and brown two-tone as well, even down to the carpets finished in that nice green against the carbon fiber chassis. Man, that is not a bad little start to the day. Oh, nice little yellow Ferrari Daytona. Oh, there we go. Very good looking. Okay, look at this, guys. Got a Resto Mod 914, which I've never seen before. That looks fantastic, actually. But there we go, real prize. Green Miura, let's go. And it's an SV too. Absolutely beautiful. Good start to the morning. And there is the Huayra BC, ladies and gentlemen, right on cue. There we go. Another SP3 for us this week. What a spec on that too. That's pretty bold with the blue wheels. We got a full-on like cartoon car here. Oh, I don't know what that thing is. And behind that we do have a really good looking 300 SL with the matching red roof. Very good looking. Little piece to action. Actually, look at the brakes on that. Ooh, nice color. That's a good looking spec. There we go, SE30 Diablo in the classic SE30 purple. Very lovely. Starting off here, we got a Hennessy Venom GT. Now, we've seen Venom F5s on the channel, but this is the early beginnings of Hennessy building their own supercars. So I don't think we've actually seen one of these on the channel yet. From the front, definitely looks like a Series 2 Lotus Elise, but it clearly is not. It's got a big, huge V8 in the back, but at the rear end, it's essentially like a long-tail Lotus Elise in terms of the styling. It has sort of like the Lotus Exige cover on the top as well. It's got the classic roof intake, but it's way faster than a Lotus, obviously. So it's a very similar styling, but a way different, I guess, performance philosophy or a different idea for the two cars. But yeah, I don't think we've seen one of these before. It's in kind of a weird spot, kind of hard to get the full car in here. But yeah, Hennessy Venom, good little start here, the concourse. Okay, so here's the Miura that we saw roll in earlier. Obviously it's an SV, looks great in green, an iconic color for the car. But upon further inspection, wait for the zoom here, people, it's got a blue interior. Wow, couldn't really see that when it was driving by, but that looks quite remarkable. Pretty bold to spec that back in the like this late 60s, early 70s. I don't know if maybe it's a redone interior or not, because it does look like absolutely immaculate, but that's quite the contrast between the green and the blue. So it's a pretty classy event here, I would say, Greenwich Concours. Lots of classics. There is some interesting sections, I would have to say. The 300 SL Roadster here is quite nice. We'll loop around here and take a quick look at that, the white on white is a very good looking spec, especially against like a black interior. It's got a white steering wheel too, which is nice. Everything kind of just contrasts itself quite nicely, I would have to say. Get the white trim around the dashboard too. It's a good little spec, I must say, but we'll see what else we can find here on the lawn. All right, so we have the Restomod Gunther Works 911. So I think most people see a lot more of the Singers. The Gunther Works are a very different style. The Singers go for more classic, where the Gunther Works are very like machine oriented and just extremely raw looking. Definitely going for more of a performance look with their cars. We've seen the Speedsters before, a few of them on the channel actually in different locations, but this one does seem a bit different to me. It looks like it's got a far more aggressive front aero on it, finished in full carbon fiber. I love the wheels that they do on these Gunther Works too. Again, like very like brutalist, machine oriented. Looks so cool. Inside as well, you can see it's got a very raw look to it. These carbon fiber bucket seats looking absolutely fantastic. I just love how you can see all the exposed linkage there under the shifter too. And this one has some nice gold accents around the steering wheel and the speedometer as well. And then in the back, it does have a new wing. I've not seen the Gunther Works with this big style GT wing before, so that does look really good. It's got the nice retro sort of wave taillights at the back too. A great looking car. Okay, now here is the SSC Tuatara, a car that we've seen actually a few times on the channel. I don't know if they actually deliver any customer cars yet. I think this is the one we keep seeing. We've seen it at Car Week. We have seen it at Moto Miami as well. They're quite loud, obviously very extreme looking and very fast. It is a hypercar after all. It's got a big loud V8 in it, but I don't think we've actually really looked at them very closely before. They're usually just in passing or at events where there's just so many other cars to look at. It's hard to get everything, but this is the Tuatara. It's got a ton of aero on. I do like the look, I must say. It is quite raw, and you love these little carbon fiber side mirrors here too, obviously looking quite good. We'll jump inside to look at the interior too, because I don't think we've had a look at that before. So yes, as I mentioned, look at the interior now that the door is open, and everything does look quite raw. Actually, you know what? I was not expecting to see such a big screen in there. I was thinking it's going to be pretty bare bones. It does have some sort of like infotainment in it too, but in terms of just the steering wheel and these giant paddles on it, obviously a lot of carbon fiber, and it's got some like older looking bucket seats. I would say on other hypercars, I think there is a lot more extreme or raw looking bucket seats. This one does look quite understated, a little more tame than what I was expecting to see in this car. I do really like the harnesses on it though. That is cool. And we've got this massive V8 in the back. Definitely one of the loudest V8s I have heard on any car so far. The rear wing design is obviously very cool too, and these orange accents against the green. The spec is pretty good on this car, but yeah, it's got a bit of a interesting history. Obviously, it was claimed to be like the fastest car on the wheel at one point. It kind of got debunked, but either way, it is still very fast. We just don't know how fast overall, but there is the SSC Tuatara. And we saw this car roll in as well. We are very familiar with Singers and Gunther Works, but obviously there's other companies doing resto mods. I've not seen one do a 914 yet though. And this one does look really good. Obviously, like I said, it has that modern and sort of futuristic look on a classic car. They do a really good job with this. I think the company's called 1511, but I do like how they've blended this really raw looking carbon fiber front grille into the car, sort of like a Gunther Works style. I would say it's a bit more raw than what you'd find on a Singer, but the wide body panels on this actually suit it really well. It flows really nice with the car. It's not like some like cheap bolt-on over fenders. This actually looks really good. So obviously a lot of work has gone into this. They've done a good job with it. And inside, it's a very classy looking interior. Obviously got the houndstooth, as you guys can see in the seats, but other than that, it's got more of a classic looking steering wheel to it. No buttons on it whatsoever. Looks really good. The houndstooth running through the dashboard as well, and it's got that nice little wooden shifter too. And this one is number 001, the first one they have done, so hopefully we'll see more of these around because it does look really good. Here is the SP3 Daytona we saw roll in. I know we saw quite a few of these back in Monaco last weekend, but this might be crazier than all of the specs that we saw over there. It is a very, very dark red on this car with all of the blue accents, but what really stood out obviously is these matte blue wheels. I have never seen that on any Ferrari before in my life, especially from the factory. And what's cool here too is it's also got the matching light blue interior here with the seats, which really stand out. Even with the dark tints and the overcast here that we have today, it still stands out against the dark red. This is such a lovely spec on this car. You have the blue stripe running all the way towards the back as well, but easily one of the coolest looking modern Ferraris by far, with all of these sort of retro designs they've fitted to this car with the slits at the back and just so many cool little angles you can see on the SP3. I do have to shout out this first gen Viper. I saw it drive in. I wasn't able to get a clip of it because it kind of came very quickly, but never see these around, and it is kind of cool. It's a weird little shape at the back. They were never like perfect cars to begin with. They were really quirky. You could definitely buy better cars at the time, but I don't know. I think the quirky stuff is some of the most fun cars that we do see on this channel. White with the blue stripes is a pretty iconic look too, but look at this. It's got a blue steering wheel, blue shifter, and a blue handbrake, which is quite interesting. I don't know if that's factory or not, but if it is, that's really cool, as I've not seen that on any Viper before. And there is that big, huge V10 in there as well. A pretty special car, obviously, for Dodge, because this obviously gave birth to its main supercar. And you know what? It's a bit of a weird design, like I said, but I think over time it has gotten much better. And just a quick stop back at Miller again before we head out, because they do actually have a couple new cars outside today. We've got this nice Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse in all silver with the brown interior, and apparently this actually was Arnold Schwarzenegger's old car. So a fun little ownership fact on that one there. And over here we do have the Chiron Super Sport, the 300 plus world record edition with the black and orange stripes, of course, very similar to the Veyron Super Sport World Record Edition. Same paint scheme with the black and orange, obviously just a bit different with the stripes, but this is probably my favorite variation of the Chiron overall, with the super long tail, and just way better looking than all the other Chirons in my opinion. This is such a cool spec, obviously with the black and orange accents as well, and you get the different exhaust on the Super Sport too. It's a really good looking car, and nice to see it out here with the old Veyron too. And now that it's not raining outside today too, they can also have the open top Mistral outside, because as I mentioned, no roof comes with this car. It's top off or nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Now you can actually look at the interior as well, that nice red and black contrasting two-tone. Pretty similar, I would say, to the Chiron interior. This is kind of just a different looking Chiron, I guess. I think there's a lot of components shared with that car, if I'm not mistaken, but now you can see what I was saying about the back here. There are some similar lines with the new Tourbillon as well, and you've got that big W16 exposed in the back too. Lovely looking car. Look at this, guys, a Tesla Roadster rolling by. When's the last time you saw one of these? Damn. And there we go, just a quick stroll away from the actual concourse, Carriage House Motor Cars, obviously specializing in classic vehicles. So the F40 outside. What do we have here? We have just a Huracan parked over there, but it does look like they have some other cars on display here too, and there's quite a bit of a crowd, so let's head out over there and see what they have. Yeah, so just on the other side here, obviously it is a replica GT4, but it is still cool in the Golf livery, nice little heritage spec. We do have a new 4GT here as well, and sort of that launch spec blue, which looks great. No stripes or anything, just a nice classy looking spec, fantastic looking car as well. And then over here beside the 4GT is a Diablo SE30 painted in red. We saw the purple one earlier today, which oddly enough wasn't even part of the show, just drove right by, and that was pretty much that. But yeah, we did see an SE30 purple earlier, which is the standard launch spec color and a special color for that car. So it is kind of cool to see it in other variations as well, in this nice red. And inside does have like these light beige seats with blue harnesses, which is quite different. I don't know if they all came with this harness or not, but seeing in blue is really nice. Beside that though is one of the nicest 300 SL Roadsters you will ever see. I'm not really sure what you would call this type of blue, but the shade of it is just so lovely. You can see even the center caps here on the wheels are matching the body color, and inside you obviously have the red interior with the white steering wheel. Now, interestingly enough, this is very similar to the one that we saw in the Dare to Dream collection back in Toronto before it was auctioned off. So this could potentially be that exact same car. It'd be nice to see that it stayed in the Northeast if that is the case, but just a lovely looking car, especially paired up with that Diablo SE30 over there as well. Nice dark red 575M inside. Such a good looking Ferrari, just a classic Grand Touring style with the design, and it's obviously not the standard Rosa Corsa red, so it's always nice to see a different shade. This is like a darkish red, almost like a bit of pink to it, depending on which angle you look at. So really good looking on that with the tan or beige interior. We've got another 300 SL Roadster over here, more of a classic looking spec, the dark gray. I would say this is more, or the best color associated with any 300 SL. This is such a good looking 360 Spider as well, black with a red interior. It's so like early 2000s, something you would see in old movies or just driving around Miami with the top down. That is such a good looking spec on that car.